How you doing in there, Sandman?
Good.
You go ahead and rot that.
So you've returned.
I found a solution to Citadel Station's fuel problem.
Really? That's great news. The situation here hasn't improved at all. What did you discover?
Voga the Hutt is looking for markets for his fuel.
Voga the Hutt? That's preposterous. What makes you think we'd be willing to do that?
Voga has a lot of fuel from Slayerin and he needs to sell it.
A glut of fuel isn't going to help our position much in this case. It's a resource that's needed throughout the galaxy, and he'll be able to command a high price for it. Still, we don't have much of a choice. We need fuel, and we need it fast. I'll bring this up with the Telosian Council and urge them to broker a deal with Voga. Now, I believe I gave you my word that there would be a reward for information leading to the establishment of a fuel source for the station. Never believed for a moment that you'd actually be collecting it. But I'm a man of my word. So here you are. Now, I've got to send this information to the Council right away.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. Are there any bounties left?
What is it?
Yeah, I don't think there's actually any bounties left. Anyway, 1,000 credits. I would like to say that that's a lot, but I actually went to the store and started selling things, so we're good for cash for a while. Now, there's a bit more to squeeze out of HK-47 before we're done here, so let's get to that. So you actually need to get to this point again. The part where you can say you seem to have thought this through. And then you ask, were you the only one killing Jedi?
Answer. No, Master. In addition to traps, mines, and orbital bombardment, Revan and the Sith often employed meatbag assassins for some Jedi skilled in the same techniques that I was trained in. Strangely enough, Revan believed that meatbags that did not use or believe in the Force were especially important, since in many respects, they were more difficult for Jedi to detect. Revan had many of them trained to hide their minds, as it were. Again, once these techniques were learned, the percentage of living Jedi began to decrease accordingly.
As we heard from Atten. Hide their minds. How?
Answer. Generally, this was done by broadcasting strong emotions while thinking about something else. It was a curious technique, but it seemed to be effective in blinding Jedi. Whether guilt, lust, fear, they act as mental interference, making finding the true intentions of the broadcasting meatbag difficult.
I don't understand how that would work.
Answer. Obviously, a Force-sensitive broadcasting such emotions puts themselves at a risk of not using the Force properly, since to use it seems to require an inner calm that most meatbags do not possess. As much as the Jedi could not use such a technique, the Sith Lords cannot use it for much the same reasons. Such passions as guilt, lust, and fear are really strengths to the Sith code. Statement. The Master felt it was ironic that only people who had experienced such passions could harm Jedi in such a way that to kill Jedi, you had to be a human being. Revan found that quite amusing.
How many ways to kill Jedi are there?
Answer. The odds of me being forced to use such techniques against you has decreased, Master. There are some methods I could describe if you wish.
Alright, go on.
Statement. Overwhelming odds is also a good tactic, Master. There are few Jedi that can long hold their ground against 100 attackers all firing at once, or being turned on by their own troops. But the most effective weapon against Jedi seems to be the erosion of the spirit.
What do you mean?
Answer. Revan claimed that psychological warfare against Jedi was important because much of their power comes from their state of mind, their connection to this religion called the Force. Revan said that many Jedi have the capability to form connections to life around them, although few of them realize the extent to which this is possible. Recollection. I believe my master speculated that many Jedi did not fully form such connections because of their discipline, because they never opened their lives to the passions around them. I believe Revan termed it that one would need to be a human being to develop such connections. It is something that the Jedi Code could not teach. One simply knew it instinctively or not. Observation. Master, I am somewhat surprised that I need to explain this to you at all, considering your past with Revan.
What are you talking about?
Answer. Why, she said you had such capability, Master, but it would be your downfall. To tie so much of yourself into others, if they suffer or die, then you would die as well. Observation. I think Revan pitied you, Master. It was very insulting, if I may say so.
Sounds like a force bond.
Clarification. Whatever it is called, Master, it seems to be quite a vulnerability. Revan even admitted as such. When a Jedi or any soldier suffers doubt, it weakens them. With the Jedi, however, it is more pronounced, since they are extreme examples. That is why Revan felt that Malachor 5 was so important. It was intended to be a conversion tool.
That's insane.
Assessment. When faced with a continuous series of hard-fought battles, I detected a significant statistical increase in Jedi following Revan over the Jedi Code, a compromise in principles brought about by battlefield conditions. The emotional weight of war changed Jedi morale, power, and eventually their allegiance. Conclusion. I believe the Mandalorian Wars were to beat the Mandalorians, and also to allow Revan to build the foundation of her army.
And there we have it. HK's given me a bonus to my wisdom, a little bit of XP, and a force point bonus.
But I am surprised you have not already arrived at this conclusion. Surely the loss of your troops and the Jedi who served under you at Malachor 5 had a detrimental effect upon you and your ties to the Force, and I suspect your desire to be around others ever again.
That's enough. I'll be going now. And for that, we got actually a +2 to our to our wisdom, which is quite nice, and it ties in well with what the Handmaiden gave us in the last part before. Recently. Now, there is quite a lot more that HK is willing to say, but I'm just not willing to listen to it.
I heard you making friends with the bounty hunter. I don't blame you. She's a scrapper. You don't survive on Nar Shaddaa for very long if you aren't.
Did you know Mira, Adam?
I've known people like her, maybe without the rocket launchers, but sort of the same. Maybe without the plunging neckline and the boots. I wouldn't let anything she says bother you. It's a wonder you cracked her attitude at all. She's cold as the ship's hull.
Alright.
Alright?
Nothing more to talk about, sadly. So, finally it is time for us to go to our second planet of the game, Onderon.
Well, this is Onderon. Looks like there's a long line to get into the Isis starport.
Something feels wrong here. A great disturbance here in orbit, and again on the planets below.
I guess this blockade is a symptom of larger problems on Onderon.
If they decide to do a cargo search, we're gonna be in trouble.
Looks like we're about to find out. I'm receiving a message from some Colonel Tobin. Patching it through.
The Ebon Hawk. I was told to expect your arrival. I don't know your business on Onderon, but it ends here.
What? What?
We've taken some hits. We can try to fight back, or I can outrun them and hide us on the jungle moon nearby. It's your call.
We better just run for it. Go to the moon. I have no idea if that makes a difference or not. You end up on Dxun either way. And what a move.
You know, just once I wish someone was glad to see us. But no, if it isn't weapons pointed at our heads, it's someone trying to blast us out of the sky.
I remember the days when welcoming committee used to mean something, without being followed by blaster bolts.
How badly is the ship damaged?
It's taken a little damage, nothing too serious. I'm shutting down all unnecessary systems until we make repairs. It'll keep us from being a target.
Well, it'll keep us from being much of a target. What now?
Well, the space battle's still going on overhead. Since they were so eager to use our hull for target practice, I doubt they're just gonna forget us. Well, I don't like it. Onderon is about as far from the core as you can get and still be in the Republic. But even out here, the locals have heard of us.
We're lucky I was able to find this place to land. Looks like something has cleared away the jungle in a few spots around here.
That's ominous. Where did we land?
Looks like one of the moons of Onderon. Not sure which one. It's mostly jungle and mountain. I did pick up the remains of an old outpost near here. Maybe that's why there's all these clearings around. Maybe they were once settlements.
There were no settlements here. Those clearings were most likely once craters or crash sites.
Crash sites?
This is Dxun, where the Mandalorians began their crusade against the Republic. The remains of whatever outposts you detected here are military ones. We should be careful.
This is where the Mandalorian Wars started? This doesn't look like much of a battlefield.
Much is buried here, and there is much that should remain buried.
Well, we need to get to Onderon.
Until the ship is repaired, we're not going anywhere. Unless you can find another route to Onderon, we should sit tight.
There may be a means to get to Onderon by another route. The Force has guided us here for a reason. We should explore our surroundings. There is something here.
Something? Oh, there's something here, all right. Predators. Not small flit darters, but big, mean, nasty predators.
Nevertheless, we should explore our surroundings. And that nearby outpost would be as good a place as any to begin.
Let's head to the outpost then.
Well, if you go, be careful. No telling what other ships were forced down in the battle.
I have a feeling the ship will not be repaired until our business here is concluded. Do I make myself clear?
Yeah, I understand. What's so important about this place?
This is where the Mandalorian Wars began. She fought here once, and there are things here she must see.
She fought here? Why didn't she say anything?
Do you speak of all your battles? Or are there some you wish to forget?
Well, that's a point, kind of. But on the other hand, I talk about Malachor 5 all the goddamn time. And that's the one, if any, that I would want to forget. You know? Anyway, Atten's not available for Dxun, which is just fine by me. We're taking Mira and... we'll go with Kreia. Because I feel like we'll want someone to make up for Mira's inadequacies. They're severe inadequacies, but she is a low level. Now, Dxun is another big, rather open area, so it's going to be a nightmare to edit, and probably a short part because of it. It's pretty great. Also, I'm not familiar with the terrain, really, so that works against us. Canucks, because, I guess they reported from here to Telos. We can pretend. And that one ate a security tunneler. Well done.
That's another one for me.
Well, apparently there's something meaner than a
That's another one for me.
giant gaping mouth. I don't know if I buy that, but whatever. At least I'm pretty sure that's what it's supposed to imply. You will have faced Canucks by this point, thanks to them being on Telos, and Telos being, by necessity, the first planet.
I've got some news. The space battle is still going on. The Hawk's sensors just picked up a contact heading to the moon. Most of the ship's systems are powered down, so it's about all I got. That ship may have landed nearby, though. Or it may be on the other side of the moon. So you might want to prepare for another friendly Onderon welcome.
Good times.
That's another
What
one
is
for me.
that?
That's another one for me.
And why is he just standing there? Whatever. Deal with these. I see it's a droid. Mira's got friends, so we'll... Freaking cutscenes. Eating my entire force speed time. No Sylvic leveled, but I think we're gonna sit on that one for just a little bit. Make it a nice thing to end the part on. Salvageable parts. Many. Parts and components. And a rusted computer port. Why not? Let's fix it. Access system commands. See if we can repair the computer core. Partially. Alright. Oh, I see. So, they're basically mines, I guess? I think we'll leave those alone. See if I can salvage them for parts. Did Republic pilot datapad? Revan says we must take Dxun, our wing of military droid carriers are out to fly in low and drop our payload onto the jungle moon. Once the droids hit Dirtside, they'll seek out the Mandalorian base and pave the way for our ground troops and the Jedi. We're expecting heavy resistance, and if the droids can't take out the anti-air turrets, it's going to be one short mission, but we cannot fail. If we do, the Republic is lost. Little dramatic, I think. They could have lost Dxun. It's not strategically important. Let's see if we can pick this thing apart. No? Disappointed. We can reactivate it, but I'm not sure if that's worth it. So I think we'll just leave it. You know, considering how long it's been, I don't think... Like, I'm pretty sure that skeleton is supposed to be one of the Republic soldiers, and that's insane.
You thinking what I'm thinking? These jungles are filled with long, narrow paths, dumb beasts that just keep charging at you. This place is perfect for mines. If the carcasses were worth anything, you could make a fortune.
Thanks, Mira. Another one of those droids that we could have set up.
That's another one for me.
We would probably get experience, but probably not as much. That's my guess. Mandalorian heavy suit, those are actually really good, as I recall. I think we have one or two. Detonator loves. Those sound terrible. Well, they're okay, I guess. Demolitions isn't a massively important skill, though.
The orbital fighting just ended. That Colonel Tobin stirred up a Minox nest when he took a shot at us. I'm still working on the repairs, and I have to take down some systems, including sensors. So you have to do without me for a while. I know, you're crushed.
Yeah, so I think we'll level up and call it a part. So, as we are total level 20, we get an attribute point. And I'm going to stick this one into Constitution in order to complement the point we got from HK. Security, I guess? Yeah, security. We can defeat this level because level 20 is a big one. There are some bits that require armor proficiencies above what we have, and some of them are legitimately good, so I'll put it in medium armor proficiency and just kind of invest for the future. We are fast running out of powers that are actually worth taking, so I don't know. Destroy droid, I guess? But because of that point of Constitution we got, we are actually able to equip a power implant now. Sadly, this does nothing for us for now, but as soon as we can either get one strength point or eliminate an odd number, preferably for something better, then, you know, we'll have the best thing forever. Should be pretty great. Hope to see you in the next part. Goodbye.